Hi everyone, Claudia here from Lighting Clarity. This week's question to Spirit is, what are my next steps? What are my next steps? So we have Archangel Chamuel, Master Merlin, or Archangel Jophiel. Which Archangel or Master has this message for you? So without further ado, for those of you who have picked Archangel Chamuel, let's bring her forward. They're neither he nor she. Let's bring them forward. Thank you. So Chamuel is saying it is very important that when you walk, when you place your feet on the ground, on the earth, that you place your whole foot on the ground. He says it is important that when you're walking, you're mindful of your feet touching the ground. He says this is going to help to ground a lot of you. A lot of you have been very much in your heads of late, and it's caused you to be quite ungrounded. It's almost like some of you, not all of you, some of you have separated yourselves a bit from reality. I'm seeing like a clear, thick mist, if you like. It's clear. It's like you're looking at life behind a window. Yeah, you can see through the window, but you're very much looking at it behind a window. The noise around you is muffled. You're not quite with it, present with everybody. You're kind of standing behind a window. He says, we want to see you more grounded as you're walking. We want you to be aware of your feet, your shoes touching the ground as you walk. Be present in the moment when you are walking. Feel your body as you walk and look around you as you're doing that. That's going to bring you back into the present moment when you're studying the trees as you walk, the plants, and your own footing and your body. So that's something he's bringing forward. So I'll keep going. He says a lot of you have been waiting for something to occur or for an outcome to come in. He says that we are aware of this. Some of you have been waiting a long time. It's like you've been waiting to give birth to something new. So he's making me feel there isn't much of a gap between now and what this outcome is, or these outcomes are, with what it is that you are looking to bring in, for the changes that you are looking to see. He says that there is more help at hand. You need to start looking outside of your circle. He's making me feel there's one or two organizations or people that actually hold the answer to what is it you're asking for, that actually hold the answer and being able to assist you. Some of you have been really trying hard to work this out all by yourself without asking for that external help. He says it's important you start asking for external help, whether this is a life coach, whether this is someone like myself, whether this is to do with an organization that can help you with this particular issue, whatever this is to do with. He says there is more resources at hand. These are your next steps. Start being present in your body. Pay attention to how you place your feet in the ground and start looking externally for the help that is available. We're talking about resources, he says. So Chamuel is the Archangel of Life Direction. And she's showing me that there is a new horizon that's coming in through the course of this year. But I want to put it at the back end of this year. This new horizon comes in for a lot of you. And you'll have done a lot of walking towards this new horizon. You've been taking many steps towards it. So Chamuel is saying, I want you to trust your intuition. A lot of you have quite a strong intuition. You're quite savvy. Don't let others knock you with what it is that you think and feel. He says, we want you to feel where you're being led, where you're feeling to go. He says that a lot of you are aware that there is like a box being given to you, a gift of some sort, and you're so excited about opening this gift. He says, we want you to trust that what's meant for you is indeed coming in. And that's what this new gift is about. You know there's something new coming in. You're aware that life is changing. A lot of you have come up to a crossroads, and there's a reason for this. He says, because there are new steps coming forward for you. He says, come April, you're going to be taking those new steps. He's making me feel that there are those changes beginning to come in. March will allow you to smell these changes. April will allow you to see some of these new results, some of these new changes coming in, and you'll be looking at the steps that you can take. It's like this new sense of motivation moves in and you actually start stepping forward. And there is a sense of forgiveness behind you of what was, for this is a year of tying up ends that and letting go of what needs to go as you move into a year of completion is what Chamuel is showing me. And that's why that back end of this year, Chamuel is saying, will bring in those extra results, that change that you've been looking for. It's like you will see yourself, you will see life from a bit different perspective because you'll be standing on a different platform come towards the end of this year. And it's like you're standing on a heightened platform, thus you're on a heightened timeline. All right, I'm going to thank Chamuel for coming in. Okay, and for those of you who picked Master Merlin, let's bring Master Merlin in. That a lot of you have let go of the idea that you are helpless. In fact, a lot of you are starting to become aware, he says, that you hold more power in your hands than you have before. You're becoming aware of your skills and abilities and your sense of alchemy, which comes with manifesting along your timelines. This is what he's saying. That's interesting. So he says that a lot of you will be going out on a limb. Something's going to be asked of you that you didn't expect, and you will be put into that. So there's something that will be asked of you that you didn't expect, and it'll be up to you whether you choose to step forward or not. Some of you will not have a choice, is also what is making me feel that's coming forward. He says, I want you to know you've got this. We want you to stand and be in your confidence with whatever pops up, whatever's being asked of you. He says, there are goals that a lot of you have and you don't think or feel that you can attain them really. There's a part of you that doubts this. That part of you is the part of you that's fearful of what if I don't attain it? What if I fail? What if I can't do it? He says, this isn't the time to do that. This is the time to step forward and step up this year and really believe in yourself. Stand behind the words you speak, is what he is saying. Stand behind the words you speak. What is it you want for yourself? Back yourself. Stand in your own self-confidence. He says, this is the time to do this. He says, as you do this, your steps will become clearer. A lot of you have already been given some steps and you've been shaking your head, some of you, and shying away. He says, you know, you have the energy of creation. He says, you are aware of this. Please, those of you who are still shaking your heads towards the steps that are being offered to you, we want you to start stepping up, even if you're not sure. He says, step forward. He says, there is a destiny that is meant for you that is beginning to open up. This is the new road that's coming in. It is a destiny. They're the words he's using. He says, it is time for you to believe in you and to step forward into where it is you're being led and where it is that you want to go. He says, you have got this ability to navigate your lives. He says, you've been given that gift. He says, it is time you used it. A lot of you put your hands in the air and go, I don't know how to do this. He says, that's not the case at all. He says, trust the steps as they come forward. He says, he's making me feel your intuition. And he says, smell the energy, smell the steps, smell where you need to go and be. He says, go with that feeling and trust yourselves. He does show me some prominent steps coming forward. There's like quite a big one and a smaller one. He says, it is up to you whether you will take these steps as you move forward. All right, I'm going to thank Merlin for coming in. And for those of you who have picked Archangel Jophiel, let's bring her forward. So Jophiel is reminding me that she's a very quiet, calm archangel, which they all are, but her energy particularly is quite reverent. She's actually known as the Archangel of Beautiful Thoughts and self-esteem. She helps with building self-esteem. So those of you who have picked her, just be aware of that and feel into yourselves and see where it is perhaps you haven't been lifting your thinking, where it is that you've been entertaining lower thought forms, putting yourselves down, because she's making me feel some of you have been doing that. And she's here to lift you up. She's here to lift your self-esteem up and put your shoulders back and sit up straight, is what she's saying. Be proud of who you are, exactly how you are right now. Be proud of already what you've accomplished, because each and every one of you has accomplished something on an emotional level, of growth, of life lessons, and on a physical level as well. Some of you may think some of what you've accomplished is small. She says all of it is relative, whether it's big or small. So she says some of those new steps are career changes coming in, or job changes for a lot of you, changing organisations, changing careers. There are the opportunity to study as well coming in. So a lot of you are going to be employing a mentor of sorts, is what she's making me feel. Either as a boss that you look up to and you're asking for advice, or you're going into an industry and asking those people who work there for their advice, or you're connecting with a career advisor, or even a personal mentor in terms of perhaps a life coach or someone like myself, spiritual advisor. She's saying that you will be asking for this to help you with your steps ahead. Some of you are looking to plant your steps very carefully ahead of you and make sure they're grounded so they do grow. And she says that a lot of you are quite business savvy as well. And she agrees with planting those steps in a careful way, in a grounded way, in such a way that they will grow. Okay, I'll keep going. And she says, keep planting those feet on the ground as you walk. Keep feeling the ground under your feet also, especially to do with these steps that you have, these goals that you have. She says, now is the time to start putting some foundations under these goals that you have. Start looking where it is that you can go and how it is you can bring these about, and get the information you need. So she says, we want you to work on those lower chakras. So we speak about your solar plexus, your sacral, and your root, in order to bring in these grounded goals that you have, these goals you have in a grounded way, in order for them to grow. She says the solar plexus is the center for will, the sacral is the center for creativity, your goals, your relationships, your sexuality, and the root is your relationship with your earthly life, your money, your livelihood, the security you feel here on earth in having a home, a roof over your head, all of that. She says those three chakras are really important, that they're grounded, they're clear, that they're running at optimum level. She says even listening to a chakra clearing on YouTube for those lower chakras would assist you. She says make sure you bring a lot of golden light into each of those chakras. So she says stand out in the sun, place your pulses up to the sun, breathe the energy in of the sun that's going to invigorate you. Also with intention, send that energy using your hands to your goals. Bring that, put your pulses up to the sun, breathe that energy in, and then imagine your goals in front of you and shoot that energy into your goals. She says this is going to invigorate your goals. This is going to help to activate goals as well. I didn't know that that's such a tool, but she's bringing that forward. I use other tools to help people with their goals, to activate their goals, but this is one tool she says would really benefit you. She says to calm you. She's also saying some of you get a little bit wound up at times. when the sky is blue, breathe in that blue sky and see it come down through your spine. Breathe it down into your spine and allow it to spread out into your body. That brings a lot of calmness in. And she says, remember when you activate these life goals that you asked the archangels, Archangel Michael, to seal the protective energy around your goals for what it is that you've been brought in, those active energies. She says divine timing is at work. She shows me a clock. She says do not be in a hurry to rush anything. She says be meticulous in what is that you want to bring about. Place those small steps within that one goal and follow through on them. Please don't throw your hands up. Some of you tend to get a little bit impatient. Not all of you, but some of you. Don't throw your hands up before you've even, some of you get quarter of the way through and you throw your hands up. She says, don't do that. Don't do that. But a lot of you are starting to feel better within yourselves on a mental health front. And a lot of you are beginning to follow through on some of the things you've been saying you want to do. You're actually going to do them and you're going to follow through on them. So that's good to see and feel. I'm going to thank I'm going to thank Jophiel for coming in. All right. Well, happy blessings, everyone. Have a good weekend. I'll see you again next week. Thanks, everybody.